Hello, everyone. This is Moncef Afkir, and thank you so much for joining me in this group journey today. And yeah, so in the beginning, I will just give a very short introduction about this journey. I think many of you already experienced those before, whether on YouTube or maybe on private group sessions. And so yeah, in general, it's we start by connecting to our breath, to our guides, and also the light beings who are here with us, supporting us in this journey. And then a few themes comes to me either like throughout the day before doing the group session or before that. Sometimes intuitively, I just feel it's something I need to speak about. So I speak about those themes, each one on their own, and then after that, I stay silent for a few minutes. And what happens is that on your end, you don't need to do anything. You just need to relax and be in that space. And for me, I'm holding the space and also collaborating with light beings, spirits who are here to help each and everyone in their journey in relation to the theme I spoke about, and also if there is anything that is needed from you, any support or anything that energetically needs to be either boosted or shifted. So they support you in that. So everyone can have their own experience. It can be different from one person to the other. And yeah, sometimes you may feel the energies moving through you. Sometimes you may not. And yeah, I received feedback like there are some participants who really felt the energy very strong coming through their body, and others maybe less, or maybe they didn't feel it. So it can be different from one person to the other. And yeah, so that's it. So let's start. So in the beginning, I invite you to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale deeply through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And I will stay silent for a moment, so you can do the breathing at your own pace. And now I invite our higher selves, our spirit guides. Also, the light beings are here with us. I already feel their presence strongly. And the first theme that I feel to talk about is our relationship to time. And if, like, to give an image about what I want to say is, for example, there are some times we may feel that in our own experience that we are under the power of time, and other times we feel more in our own power, more how to say, maybe detached to time and flowing more easily. And those two happens, for example, in those situations where we have a strong desire, but we put urgency on it for it to manifest fast, either because of past traumas or fear of missing out, or sometimes because we are afraid to go within, and sometimes we use some desires unconsciously to not look within. It's like we feel if something happens, it's like it will save us. Maybe we don't think like that way, but unconsciously, this is what's happening. We feel that if something happens, then we will be happy, then our life will get better. So we use that to maybe sometimes run away from our own traumas. And here it's in general, we are under control, under the power of time. And if things take time to manifest, we feel so much stress, anxiety, sometimes depression. And at times, if we keep forcing, we keep, how to say, we keep trying hard to make things happen so fast, at some point we may give up on those desires. And we build then an unconscious belief or limited belief that things don't happen to us, maybe just to others. And the more we try to force things to happen, the more we strengthen this this belief, this limiting belief. Take a deep breath. And the other side of our relationship with time is when we have the desire is strong, but we are not so much attached to it or when it will happen. We set the intention. When we feel guided to take an action, we take it. But we are okay if it takes time or not. We are more enjoying what we have here in the present moment. We try to make the best of what we already have. And also we have more trusts in the support we are receiving from our spirit guides, the beings who support us in our path. And many times we are not aware of that. But the support is there. It's when we have this trust, we feel more flow and things come more easily to us. And in general, like things happen in the time where we don't expect it to happen in general. And when we are in that state, like there is more, it can be either like joyful feeling or maybe feeling of surprise whenever what we desire come to us, or maybe just a feeling of peace and trust, and yeah, also confidence that we'll receive what we want, what we deserve, and what will serve us, of course. Take a deep breath. And another aspect of our relationship with time is maybe this one can be a result of the first one that I talked about when we feel stressed, trying to control when things will happen. It's especially when we give up. There is some kind of laziness that we may be experiencing with time, and in those situations, it can be very helpful for us to be honest and also try to understand, to contemplate what is happening within, because sometimes we may confuse either laziness or maybe fear of our power, fear of rejection, like different kind of fears based on that were created from traumas that we experienced in the past. And we may confuse that with it's not the right timing. And here we need really deep honesty within ourselves to look within and try to understand what's really happening. And when we find out that it's more about running away from our fears and becoming more like always postponing and procrastinating just because of fear. Here, what can help sometimes, it's when we feel guided to take an action, it feels like a stretch for us. It feels like something difficult for us. And in many cases, like just the first step or the first few steps that we take can really help to change that perception. And then we understand, we start feeling the energy flowing more strongly within us. And also taking those actions feel um, more encouraging for us, more exciting for us, or just more flowing, um, more easy to follow. Take a deep breath. And because we are constantly evolving and growing, and like healing or spiritual awakening is a lifetime path. So there's always more. There's always some growth that we will be experiencing. So our relationship with time will be shifting from one state to another in general. But when we contemplate that in our life, and with time, with practice, it becomes more like a choice for us. It's become easy for us to shift states and shift our relationship with time, where we can be more more allowing, more detached from time, allowing things to flow to us, to come to us. Yeah, and just now I thought, because many times we say allow things to come to us. Like this also can mean in some cases, if you feel within your heart, you feel guided to take an action, then that's also kind of allowance for things to come to us. So it's, for me, what I mean by that, it's not forcing, allowing things to come to us. It's not forcing things to happen. And yeah, so I will stay silent for a couple minutes, just holding the space. And yeah, if you want, you can contemplate those aspects in your life. And of course, without judgment. We all experience those situations. It's more just having the awareness of what is happening, and energetically, the beings will be supporting you in your journey. So you just need to be in that space, and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And now the second theme is our conceptions, spiritual conceptions, or ideas that we have throughout our evolution. For example, like you may notice at some point in your life when you started your spiritual journey, maybe you read a book and you felt that was really felt your heart opening so much. It was a huge shift and very profound experience. And sometimes, maybe later in the future, maybe a few weeks, few months, or a few years after that, because you have that memory of that feeling, you want to create it again, and you try to read that book, for example, or listen to an audio, a meditation, and then you don't feel that anymore. It feels like it's, how to say, for me, how, like from my opinion, how I see it is that there are things that serve us, or their purpose in our path is it's just for a limited time. Once they create that shifts, then we don't need that anymore. And it doesn't mean that it's something wrong with it. No, there are other people who may need it in their journey at some point in their journey. But also the idea that I want to share is like the ideas that we learn about spirituality. We need some kind of flexibility for it as we are evolving and growing and walking our path. Because many times when something we experience, we have an experience, we try to recreate it, we try to understand, to maybe make rules. So this is how it happened. But when we try that, it doesn't happen. It feels like we are forcing it. Take a deep breath. So it's okay to let go of maybe some teachings or ideas or techniques that maybe served us in the past, but they are no longer serving us now. We will always feel grateful for learning that, for people who helped us during that time, but it's more about being open and also, how to say, trying also to have our own perspective of things. For example, we can learn about living in the flow or being in the present moment. We hear different definitions or maybe explanations or interpretation. But also it can be helpful to have our own. So with time, with experience, and with practice, we can see things from our own eyes and from our own heart, because our interpretation or the way we experience things can be different than others. So what we learn from others or information we receive, it's like, how to say, like a guide, but then the real experience, it's us who can define it, who can experience it and know exactly how it feels. Take a deep breath. And also this is also related to how we see the universe, how we see God, angels, other beings, light beings, or we also need to allow ourselves to, how to say, like create space, instead of forcing ideas that how our connection with them should be. We become more open to this to happen in ways that we don't even expect or we are not aware of. It's more having the flexibility and openness to really be with the unknown, like find comfort being in the unknown and having trust in that. And then at some point, it depends on, of course, on each person. But at some point, we will build that that trust within ourselves, within our heart, and we are able to see things from our own unique perspective. Take a deep breath. And again, I will stay silent for a couple of minutes. And yeah, the light beings will be supporting you to connect more to your heart and also to have more trust in your heart, your own knowing, and embracing more of your own power and your own sovereignty. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And now I want to speak a little bit about self-care and the guilt. It depends on circumstances, the situations we are in. At some points, like especially when we have so many responsibilities, and we feel at some points that we really need to either create time for being our own, like to care about ourselves, either by like I said, creating time to be alone, or maybe to buy something for us, to have some kind of experience, to start something that we really desired and we kept postponing, or maybe travel, or anything that you feel within your heart that it's something that you deserve and you feel it's time for it. And many times we can receive guidance about that, to follow that path or to have that experience. And because of the responsibilities that we feel that we have, we may keep postponing that, or we may be afraid of the how things will unfold, maybe will unfold in a negative way. And maybe we will not have enough money, maybe we will be judged by others, they will feel that we don't love them enough, especially in the times if others they are having challenging time, but we try to enjoy what we love, to do experiences that bring us joy, happiness, maybe peacefulness. And we feel that if we do that, it's like we are giving up on others. And we feel like loving others means that we need to feel what they are feeling exactly. Take a deep breath. And when it comes to relationships, in general, like how others feel, it's their own responsibility, it's their own path. But we are not obliged to feel the same way. We may hold the space for them, we may support them if we feel guided to do that, and also if they ask for that or they want to receive that. Of course, we don't want to force that as well. But to also suffer, this is a choice that we make, but it's not a responsibility that we have. Take a deep breath. And then when we follow the guidance that we received, or have the experience that our hearts guided us to have, maybe we may feel some kind of guilt doing that. And for me, from my own experience, is that after having, like, following my heart or having more experiences like that, I started having awareness of that pattern when it happens. And especially when the more we take more maybe risks, it can be small risks, we build also this trust. It becomes stronger. Maybe we don't trust fully yet, and it's fine. It's a path that we are all walking. And yeah, at some moments we may have doubts, so it's normal. And but more, it's like taking those kind of decisions becomes more maybe more easier compared to the past, where we may give up on them maybe after more practice. Even though we have some doubts, at some point we will still follow our heart and walk that path. So for some people it can be fast, for others it may take time to trust the guidance. But it's the more experiences we have, the more risks we take, the more also we build, we strengthen our intuition and our awareness of our knowing. If this is something we are guided to do, or will serve us, or if it's not. So take a deep breath. And again, I will stay silent for a couple of minutes, holding the space. And also, you just need to be in that space. There is nothing to do. And also, the light beings will be working with every one of you differently, depending on what you need in this present moment, the time you are watching or listening to this session. And yeah, also it can help to, how to say, be able to make it more easier to let go of that guilt, or allow it to move through you, and also at the same time help to, how to say, have more trust, more confidence, to really take care of yourself and to put yourself first. Because when you take care of yourself, you are not hurting others. It's in the contrary, it's something that you will be able to give to others, whether it can be by teaching, by words, by example, or maybe by something you create, something that will serve others. And energetically, it's not just about you. When you care about yourself, it's much bigger than that. So take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me and everyone participating, or and also the beings who are here with us. So thank you so much for co-creating with us this experience. Because it's not just me or the beings with us, it's also you, like having an importance co-creation here with us. So thank you so much. And if you feel you want to stay in that space, I will end the session soon, and you just maybe you can lay down, or maybe you take some time to be in nature if you have the possibility to do that, and or listen to some music. And yeah, also I thank the light beings who supported us today, and our spirit guides, higher selves. And now I invite every one of us to, at each one comes back to their own space. So we don't take others' energy with us after that. Take a deep breath. And also, I will do 2 group sessions. It will be live, and those 2 will be live. And for private groups, they will happen on 2 Fridays. Friday, March 31st, and the second one week after, Friday, April 4th, I think. So the details will be on the link yourdivineuniqueness.com/Moncef, Moncef, and you can join by donation. Yeah, you can pay starting from $1 or more if you feel guided to do that. And also because also for me, sometimes the donation can be tricky, and it happened to me when I join maybe an event or something, that the hosts ask just for donation. And sometimes I have this feeling that maybe I'm not giving enough, I need to give more. So just for me, it's just make it easy, don't force anything. Whatever you share, I'm very grateful for it. So yeah, it's something that needs to be easy and comes from your heart, not forcing it. And yeah, so again, the link is yourdivineuniqueness.com/Moncef, yourdivineuniqueness.com/Moncef, Moncef. The link will be on the YouTube video description, and also on the replay page, there is the special offer button. And those group sessions, they will be like about 40 to 45 minutes, each one of them. And it will be the same as the session that I did today. And yeah, it will be dependent on the energy of the group. Then I will feel guided to speak about themes that, and also the light beings will be supporting us during those journeys. And yeah, so that's all for today. Thank you so much again for co-creating with us today's session. And I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you on the next call. Bye-bye, everyone.